everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Fortnite Story. I'm joined alongside a professional Fortnite player, Mechton. How is it going, Mechton?
Pretty good, man. Just vibing.
Yeah, I like the background. I was telling you beforehand. I like the setup. That's a nice one. I'm not a huge fan of RGB lights, but that's tasteful.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm a big RGB guy. Every light I can get on, I just buy it.
All right, all right. Well, let's start off with how you got your name. Where does Mechton come from?
So, probably I think 6 years ago now, I used to my dream as like a kid was always to do YouTube, right? I wanted to be like a content creator or whatever.
Okay.
I was in like this group of friends on like Skype where we all like did YouTube videos type of thing. And I was like, I don't know, probably 9 years old or 11 or something. And this guy would essentially change his name every single week to something else. He could never stick to the same name.
What's
But one
everybody?
of the weeks he had the
Welcome
name
back to another
Mechton,
video.
so I straight up stole it from him like a month later, and all of his branding, I took all of it because he switched names, and I don't know, I thought that sounded cool. It
So
was
you,
different.
you took one of your friends' names, and now that is your brand.
Yeah.
Okay. It's one of the more interesting ways.
Yeah.
What did he change his name to, or do you not even remember at this point?
I don't remember. He had like so many different names. It was just I don't even know. It was so long ago too.
Okay, okay. Um, and so you said you wanted to be a YouTuber. How's that
Mhm.
going for you? Like, what process or what are you doing? Are you still on that journey?
Yeah, I mean like at first like when I was growing up, I really wanted to be a YouTuber because I watched YouTubers like Ali A was one of them. I love that guy when he played COD and that sort of stuff. So I'd always watch him, and I kind of want to do something similar. And I mean, I kind of went off that path a bit. Like I wanted to do like other stuff. I got into like graphic design when I was younger, so I wanted to do that. But then I ended up eventually playing Fortnite just randomly because it came out. My friends were playing it a couple years or like 4 years ago now. And then I mean, from there I just played the game. I didn't really have much like I guess motivation to keep going with content creation, but I kept playing the game because I enjoyed it. And at a certain point, like probably 2 years ago, I realized that I want to build a brand and kind of, have a higher chance at like keep playing the game essentially. I'd have to build a brand and do content again. So I kind of got more of a motivation to continue content creation. And I think now that's kind of where I want to go in the future, like in the long term. I want to do more content creation or be like a streamer type of thing rather than like a pro player. So kind of more aligned with like, what I wanted to do when I was younger type of
Okay.
thing.
So obviously you've had some success. You've qualified for, I believe, 8 out of 15 finals on
Yeah.
West. Did you qualify for this most recent one?
Yeah.
Okay. Who are you playing with this season?
Chicken, my
Chicken.
duo. Yeah,
Nice,
I've been playing with
nice.
them for a long, long time.
Okay, so that's like the duo for you.
Yeah, I mean, I think I've been playing. I met him in World Cup, and
Oh,
we've pretty much been
jeez.
playing since then.
Okay. So
Yeah,
you're not someone that's randomly having new teammates all the time. I can respect that. I like
uh,
it.
yeah,
All right. And so as far as like the content creation side versus the competitive side, right now, at least it seems like a lot of the content is driven by competitive. Like you think of some of the top guys, I mean even Tifu is now coming back. Like he's very much driven on like the competitive side of zero builds, but obviously we have people like Clicks that are the largest content creators. So do you have a plan to use the competitive to create content, or is that a different plan that you have in your head as far as what you want to do moving forward?
I think at the moment for me, it's the easiest for me to make content out of competitive, like literally doing anything like from like scrims or just like teaching people things. So that's kind of like my main like thing I've been thinking about, or like what I've been doing.
Okay.
Um, I'm not really sure what I'd like do besides competitive, because like for Fortnite at least, there's not a whole lot to do for me. Besides competitive. Like I'm not like really into like the casual kind of stuff as far as that.
I feel you. I'm the same way. I enjoy the competitive side, and like you look at all the highest viewed videos or like highest searched terms, it's all how to do this quest, how to do that.
Yeah.
And like I respect it, that is for somebody, right? Someone is going to be making that content, but I don't think it's going to be you and I based on your response there.
Yeah.
Um, but nonetheless, there is still that room for players to create more in-depth content. Like I think two people that come to mind are like a Nani or a Queasy. They've a couple of times had that style where it's not just simply here's a highlight of my end games. Here's a highlight of my end games with commentary as to how things go. And I mean, just taking a peek at your YouTube, you have some like your most recent videos, how to get arena points.
Yeah.
So like that definitely fits, helping people understand the game at a different level. And I'd be interested to know whether you see like how do you see the competitive side? Like, where do you want to focus as far as that kind of content? Because you said you want to do competitive, but obviously there's a ton of places that could go. Like for you, is it simply just playing tournaments, or is it more behind that?
Um, I mean, in terms of what I want to do with competitive, or like trying to think. Um,
I guess a better way to word that question is, so you want to now shift towards YouTube, right? And you're using the competitive side to drive that. Do you have ideas of things you want to do, or how you envision that push for content going?
so I think what I want to do, like in that retrospect, is I wanted to like use my knowledge I've kind of gained and like kind of show like mistakes or like just like how do I explain it? Like I want to make videos essentially, um, just teaching people. That's literally it. It's just like overall education because like I made so many mistakes playing this game. I feel like it's so easy, and I like sometimes it takes me forever to learn these mistakes or whatever. So I just want to make it like kind of like simpler and more compact for people to like learn from what like kind of my mistakes. If that makes sense, it's kind of hard for me to explain it 'cause I don't have the exact idea yet,
Right.
and I've been kind of trying to figure out what I want to do for like the last year. I don't really know exactly, but that's kind of like the main idea. Is I just want to like kind of teach people how to do certain things.
Okay. Have you asked anyone at Team 33? Because I know, speaking to Nani, they've provided him some resources that have helped.
No, I haven't really brought up to them at all, really.
Okay, that might be what you want to do. Try and just have that conversation, see if they could help you out. Based on my conversation with him, it seems like they've provided some support. Like obviously, you gotta do your own stuff and create the content, but the help is there, and it's easier if you can have some people, or even just like-minded people, someone else on the org that's doing something similar, and you just have those chats. Like, yo, there's what I plan on doing. I know you're doing something similar. Let's chat about it. Sometimes it gets difficult to have those conversations because you think like you're competitors and you don't necessarily want to share. But the more I've learned about YouTube, the more people doing similar things to you is actually a good thing, because then like that's the algorithm, right? It's
Mhm.
creating stuff that people want to watch similar to yours. So then therefore YouTube will be like, yo, here's Mechton, here's somebody's gun. They're both doing the same things. Like, watch their stuff because you like one of them, you should probably like the other. Um, so just a suggestion for you.
Mhm. Yeah,
Uh,
that's definitely something I can do. I mean, that all those people in there, they show so much support to each other. Like it's actually kind of crazy. Like they're always having conversations. So I think it's a very good idea.
yeah, you got an awesome wealth of knowledge at your disposal, so take
Yeah.
advantage of it. But I want to go back to you as a player and learn a little bit more about how you got started within Fortnite. Some people have, they just started playing and then somehow decided to get into competitive. Other people, it's been a long grind. So, how did
Yeah.
you first start playing Fortnite, and when did it finally like click to you that you were actually good at the game?
So okay, so I started playing Fortnite like around season two. So like the Christmas season, and that was very casual. I was playing with school friends, and I was just like I was playing the game all day. Okay, like I was there. I was like after school, get home, it's Fortnite until 12 o'clock, and then I played that for like probably like maybe a year and a half, and then eventually there's a point where it was like FNPL came out, which is like one of the first, no, not one of the first. There was a couple of before that, but it was like the main scrim server at the time. So it played that. Wasn't very good at it. It was East Coast. It was like something I didn't try too hard, but I wanted to be involved in it because I wanted to, kind of follow around everybody. Because I watched like, Liquid, all the Liquid boys like Chap and them, and they used to play it as well. So I tried to play that, and then after FNPL, it was kind of like shambles. Like there was I don't know, there wasn't like too much to do in the game. I was just playing pubs and that sort of thing, trying to get better. And then there's a certain point where it was Scented who made a West Scrim Discord called Westworld, and he randomly tweeted. What he would do back in the day is he would follow like 1,000 people, and then he'd like get them to go on your like get me to go on his account. You'll see what's up, and then unfollow us after. But because of that, I found his Discord and I joined his Scrim Discord, and it was super popular. Like this is like the first West Discord that actually was super active. So at that point, I started to scrim. I started to get a bit better and actually play tournaments like Scallywag, Blackheart Cup, like Gauntlet, and that sort of stuff. Then a bit after that, that kind of died out. There was West Prac during World Cup, and during World Cup, I decided I really wanted to play when it got announced. Like I wanted to like really qualify. I played so much to try and qualify. Didn't do too hot. I wasn't very good back then. Um, but yeah, after like as soon as World Cup started, that's kind of like when my competitive drive started. I didn't know I was good. I didn't think I was good because I knew I wasn't good. I wasn't like placing very well. I was kind of just me skimming money like every once in a while. Um, but after that World Cup, I watched it with all my friends. Like we're all just sitting on a call, kind of watching World Cup. And all that was motivation to like really try and get really good at competitive. So as soon as Trio FNCS hit, it was grind time. It was me, Chicken, and someone else we found. We played all day, all the West Opens, like all the open scrims, hit the VOD reviews, like you hit YouTube, all that sort of stuff, and tried to get as good as possible. And that was like the first season where I realized that like I have a lot of potential to potentially take this game further. Because I think we made 1,200 each that season, which is pretty good. Because I think I was 13 at the time, or maybe 14. I'm not sure. I
Okay.
don't remember. So that was like my first like little bit of money I've made. So I realized I had potential. So me and Chicken, we continued out through playing after that. It was Winter Royale after that or something. Played Winter Royale, did pretty good. With all that money, I just kept reinvesting it in my setup and stuff because I didn't have, good stuff. But I think it was right at Solo Invitational, which is the first grand finals I qualified for, that I realized like I want to like try and go pro. Like actually go pro. Like actually just like do everything I possibly can, put all my time, really make sure like I'm focusing on this, do try and, go pro or try to get to where I am today. And that was kind of just like my starting point was Invitational. Yeah, and just all the solo events. I was very good at solos.
Okay.
That was like my calling.
So you must be missing out on like all the solo cash cups being gone,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, and I hate it.
You're one of the few people that I've spoken to that really like solos. Is there any
Oh yeah.
reason you like solos?
I like solos the most because it's all dependent on myself. I don't have a teammate to blame. I don't have, there's like literally everything in solos all up to my skill. So like if I'm doing bad, I know it's not this guy's fault or, we're not playing enough. It's literally me. It's like the only thing I can only control. So I found it the easiest to improve at. And I was also just a player who didn't like what's it called? Big excuses like for solos or like, it's all RNG, it's all this, blah blah blah. I actually try to understand solos and get better at it. So I feel like that's why I was really good at solos, and that's like why I enjoy it a lot more than most people.
That makes sense. So like internalize everything as opposed to putting that blame elsewhere, which then helped you
Yeah.
excel and continue to improve.
hmm
Um, Now as far as within the game, like how would you describe yourself as a player? Uh, I, I know you said you like solos, but as far as
Yeah.
FNCS, we've been playing team modes. Like where does Mechton fit in there?
So I fit in like I've played every role to exist in this game. Like I've played support, hard fragger, IGL, I've done it all. But like currently, after trios, I play as a fragger, and then as soon as duos made the switch, I decided to try an IGL because I kind of realized that like I don't have the best mechanics. So it's kind of harder for me to become a fragger, especially with higher ping than most people. So I then realized that I'm gonna try to make the switch to IGL to make myself more of like a valuable player, like overall for like to like get a better teammate. Because I wasn't playing chicken at the time when I made that switch. We kind of split up for a little bit. But then when me and Chicken got back together, I started IGLing again, and that's kind of just like the route it's been so far for this chapter at least. I've been just been trying to like become a better IGL, and just fully focusing on getting more knowledge in the game. That's kind of how this is kind of how I play now. I still am a very solo player at heart. Like I make a lot of solo plays, which may in some points get my teammates killed, but it's just how I play. I'm trying to get better at it and become more of a team player. But that's kind of where I'm at right now.
So I mean, that's the first step. At least you're like recognizing that you're not just
Yeah.
like, oh, my teammate's always dying on me. But you're taking that in and saying, oh no, I sometimes don't play for the person behind me, which I think is one of the hardest parts for people to understand, especially as an IGL. Like you're not just building a tarp for you to get through the end game, or you're not
Yeah.
finding a path just for you. If your teammate dies on that rotate, that's one, because you didn't choose the right path, or two, you didn't build properly in order to protect them, which kind of distinguishes some of the top level players. Is creating a path for two as opposed to just getting one person through is something that's not easy. It is a very difficult task to accomplish, because typically when people see the first person, they know that second person's following behind, and you need to be able to guide a second player, or calm to them like, hey, this is going to go wrong, watch your right side, I'm leaving left open, change layers, like whatever it may be. It's a constant struggle to either control a layer with your duo, which also takes a lot of effort, or just like skate through with your duo, depending on what position you're in. So it's an interesting place. How have you been trying to improve and get better at being an IGL?
The main thing that like kind of was a switch between like being a fragger and IGL is I've been VOD reviewing a lot more. Like that's just like my number one thing. Before I never used to VOD review just because I was lazy. I thought it was boring. But now that like I actually can like have something to learn from it more, I guess. I find it more enjoyable to VOD review and I do that a lot more. Like I probably VOD review every day. I like going over my games. I like watching other people a lot more now. Cause I can try like I have like a goal in mind. Like I want to try and understand why they're doing this or doing that type of thing. So that's like my main thing that I've been doing to improve as an IGL because I was dumb as a rock before like chapter 3. Like I didn't know what I was doing. But like kind of season 2 started to grow a brain a little bit and I feel like I'm solid. I know I'm a pretty solid IGL this season as well.
Okay. So you said you like to watch your games and other people's games. You have a favorite person you like to learn from?
So my coach doesn't like me watching this person because of
Uh
their playstyle, but it's Merstash and Malabuka.
Okay.
Be- And the reason he doesn't like me watching them is because somehow they get away with everything. They will play a backside, edge zone, just not even together. They'll be like opposite sides of the zone, and they will somehow win the game. It doesn't make any sense, but I love watching those guys. But probably besides them, probably just Epic Whale. 'Cause he's the goat. That
Yeah.
guy.
So the two people that played together and just won the Gamers 8, that's your favorite
Yeah,
VOD review.
it's the perfect combo.
Well, if only we could have got those freaking VODs. It's a shame. They're just gone. Now all we get is the broadcast, which I don't even know is available.
Yeah.
Um, but going back to who's your coach? Who are you working with?
Right now I'm with Kataz,
Okay.
if you know who that is.
Yeah, I do. I do. How so let me ask you before I ask about him. What do you think is helpful about a coach? Like, why did you want to have a coach and like seek out coaching?
I think it's mainly because, when I was doing those water reviews, it was kind of a hard time for me to point out like the mistakes I was making or like I'd maybe like I'd be able to notice like a couple of mistakes I'm making, but I don't know like how to fix them or why I'm consistently making them. And having a coach kind of like solve that problem because they do that for you. And overall, it's just a time saver. Like I'm saving more time, and when you have a coach that like goes over your games for you and kind of points out things, it makes it easier for me to work on other things besides just simply getting smarter. Like I can work on my mechanics more. I have more time to do other things than just simply VOD review all day. And sometimes even wasting my time. Like before, I could be wasting my time water viewing because I don't know what I'm doing. Like I don't know what mistakes I'm actually making. If that makes sense.
Yeah, definitely makes sense, and I think that's super helpful. It's awesome to hear like what you find valuable in a coach because it could be different from person to person. Other people may need that coach to help them grind their mechanics or do specific things, game planning, different things like that, but helping you and saving time as far as the VOD review and being more specific. That's one of the hardest things. A lot of people watch VODs, not a lot of people watch VODs purposely and have outcomes that actually help them improve. You know, it's one thing to just go
Hmm.
watch a VOD, be like, oh yeah, we screwed up there.
Yeah.
Just putting that down on paper or on your computer is not helpful. Like,
Hmm.
we screwed up at this moment because we decided to make this choice and this is what we should have done otherwise. That is a lot more difficult and takes a lot more effort rather than just simply turning on VODs. So has Kataz been helpful with that? Do you think he's accomplished what you're looking for?
Yeah. So like last season we kind of started working together like last minute, so like probably like 3 4 days before grands, and just like those 3 to 4 days, um, what's it called? He like there were so many mistakes that he pointed out I've never like thought about, and it just made like understanding endgame so much more like easy for me, and like I'd have more of a set game plan type of thing. Like he helped me understand a lot of different like concepts in the game, especially this season because I've been working with him for like a month and a half now, and it's just made like overall the last month and a half my life has been 10 times easier, and he's made the game 10 times more simpler for me, and it's just easier because if I ever like have me say like, man, like I'm pretty sure I DM'd him yesterday after scrims like, dude, we suck, and he's like, all right, I'll watch the VODs, let me know or whatever, and then we just hop on a call, figure it out, and then we go again tomorrow. It just makes life way easier.
Nice, nice. Yeah, I'm very appreciative of the love that coaches are starting to get within the scene. I feel
Hmm.
like for the first year or two, or first chapter or two, I should even say, people kind of saw coaches as like a joke or, I'm too good. Why would I need a coach? But now you see all the top duos, they work with somebody. And there's a reason why they're the top duos because having that third party perspective provides a ton of value and it creates less conflict, I believe, too, because a lot of you guys are very young. So it's
Yeah.
sometimes harder to be like, yo, Mechton, you made this mistake. Or you say to your duo, you made this mistake. And instead of taking it personally, you guys are both now working with a coach. There's that third party to be like, no, this was actually what happened. We should fix this. And it's not personal. This is just how it has to be. Um,
Mhm.
so that like combination of reasons is it's cool to see. Have you worked with other coaches in the past, or is this the first time?
This is the first time for me.
Okay. And for you going into grand finals, we're what, like a week and a half away.
Hmm.
Do you have a goal set in mind? Like what are you trying to accomplish?
So my goal is to get top four and preferably top three, depending on who's in first and second, so that I can potentially get an invite to Invitational.
Okay.
That's like my thought process. So that's my goal. I already put it. So Chicken, my duo, has a pet turtle. I already put it on his life that we're getting top five at least. So there's really no option for
um,
failure here. So yeah, that's my goal for this grands, I think. And I think we're gonna do really well, just because I've fixed most of my issues that I had last season.
okay. Yeah, you better not let his pet turtle down. That's that's gonna be tough. Now you said depending on who the top two are. So like, who do you expect to be those top two?
I think either Pars or Epic is winning grands this season. I feel like Epic, well, they're just overall a good team. They're always gonna do well. But Pars, they are like, even though they do well, I still feel like they're so incredibly underrated. Like they are just Pars as an IGL is such a smart player, and Raze plays his playstyle perfectly with Pars. They're just like, I think they're the best duo in West. So I think either of them could get first or second.
Okay. And what about Favs? You feeling
So the problem with Favs is their drop spot, I feel like this season, because they don't have like an uncon tilted.
okay?
They're getting conned, at least for now, they're getting conned in grands. So I don't see them doing as well. Especially because like during the FNCS qualifiers as well, they weren't performing as well as I thought they would, compared to last season at least.
Yeah, makes sense. Okay. Yeah, interesting. And I'm interested to see how it works out. I've been watching more West recently just because my boy Panda's been putting on the watch party. So
Yeah.
I've been watching, just checking it out. There is definitely a disparity in the like top players as opposed to everyone else. For the
Mhm.
longest time, it was Epic and Arkham, and that was it. But now we've seen Arkham fall off, and Epic is hanging out there by himself. It feels like right now.
Yeah.
Was that while they were on that run, like when they basically won every single FNCS for like a year and a half? Was that motivating for you or demotivating as a player watching that happen?
It was like a bit of both because like there was like in like the scrims like during their run when they won when they won everything there was always scrims going on, and a common thing that was said between every West player is like we're playing for second this season, boys. Like there's no point of even trying harder. Like they're obviously gonna win just because they're so far ahead of every player, but I don't think it's the same anymore. I mean, obviously Arkham's I think he's pursuing Valorant or something, and Epic is still here, but I feel like a lot of the players have grown because Epic Whale, Arkham, all those people, they took a break. I feel like they kind of like stopped playing the game. There's a little gap like at the beginning of chapter 3, which led all these players get ahead and kind of catch up to them a little bit. So I mean that's why I think Pars has like a high chance because that's he's one of those players that like I feel like has caught up so much and improved so much in like 2 seasons. This guy was like a bottom 500 player, and now he's like probably top 5 NA West in my opinion.
Man,
So
you're not the
that's what I
first
think of it.
person. That name's been coming up. Pars and Rays. There's been
Yeah.
a lot of conversation as them being now the best duo on the region. Um, the Snacky and Favs duo was cool, but I think it was almost they relied too heavily on being able to stomp everybody. And
Yeah.
when you can't do that now, is like that skill gap is closed a little bit more. It becomes more difficult for them as they can't just be that most dominant duo in any lobby. Uh,
Mhm.
I'm interested to see because it's Epic and Reet, right? That's the duo.
Yeah.
How do you see them performing? I know you said they're probably the top team or one of the top teams, but do you think those two work together? Because typically Arkham would IGL Epic Whale, and like in my opinion, Arkham had zone hacks. Like that dude just
Yeah.
knew the game better than anybody else. Not actually, if anyone's listening, like no, he was not cheating, but for some reason, not some reason, he knew something that most people didn't.
Mhm.
And it was really cool. Go back, watch VOD. You just find this guy in the center zone, like every zone, in the best position. Um, but yeah, how do you think Reet and Epic are gonna work? Do you even like me just asking? Do you know who's IGLing and who's doing what?
I'm okay. I don't know exactly, but I'm pretty sure Reed's IGLing because I don't watch them too often play. Um, I think they're gonna do good just because like I mean they both have so much experience in Grands, and I think a big thing on West is there's always a lot of new players that come in to Grands. I feel like especially like recently this chapter, it's like the experience that really matters. Like these players like Reed and Epic Whale, they're not gonna choke. They don't get nervous. Like they don't have like those outside factors that kind of go into their gameplay. I think for that reason alone, they're gonna do better than a lot of people, and that's why they're gonna end up like at least top 3. I don't see them getting outside of top 3. I mean, even just this season, they've been doing good in cash cups. I think they won a cash cup. Um, and they're just it's Epic Whale and Reet. They're just good. Like just how it goes.
Yeah, you're right. I have it pulled up right here. They did win the first Cash Cup of the season, so
Mhm.
definitely had some success early on, and obviously they qualified same week you guys did. Um, So it'll be interesting to see. Do you have like a favorite player you like to watch? Is there anyone that inspired you back in the day? I know you said some of the Liquid guys, and then now is there anyone you look up to within the scene?
You say just on West, or would you say like kind of
Anyway,
overall? Um, it's kind of hard to choose, but like it was Scented. But then I stopped watching him so often just because he didn't stream anymore. He used to stream a lot. And I think now it's probably Epic Whale. That's the guy I just like overall he's just like he's been there since the start of West. Like I said before in that Discord, Westworld, he was there. He was playing. We're all on the same level. And now that he's up there, it's just kind of like a good person to watch for me and it keeps me motivated like when I watch him or see him play or stream and that sort of stuff.
Nice, nice. Yeah, he's a very good example of what success can be. It's
Hmm.
actually incredible that he's able to help run a company, be one of the best players on a region, go play with a new duo, win Gamers 8. Like, it's absurd, but, some people are just built different like that. So
Hmm.
it's cool to watch. Did you watch the Gamers 8 tournament?
I watched the day two, so like the last 6 games.
What'd you think of it?
I think it was very entertaining. That was the first LAN I could actually watch and like actually like not get bored. Maybe it's because I was watching him, but like I'm not a guy who watches Fortnite all the time. I don't watch the Fortnite broadcast. I think I start sleeping midway through, but it just I don't know the whole like aspect of the arena, everyone in that LAN. It was just is really entertaining for me at least. I thought it was like enjoyable to watch for sure.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I was just wondering from like an outside perspective. I was lucky enough to be able to go, but from
Hmm.
someone watching it at home, like did it feel the same? Obviously, it's not going to be 100% not being able to be there, but sounds like it was an enjoyable experience as well.
Yeah, it kind of gave me like those like World Cup kind of vibes. Not like up to World Cup. 'Cause World Cup was just crazy. Like that was like the first thing of its time, but it has like a similar feeling. Like you see everyone land, and you're just like when you're watching that sort of stuff, especially if you're missing out and you're not able to go there, you get like a boost of motivation after watching that stuff. You just want to like keep going, and it just gives you another reason to keep playing the game or try and succeed so you can end up being there eventually.
Right. So that's another driving factor for getting that top 4, top 3
Yeah,
to get that invite.
yeah, for sure.
Um, do you have your passport? Because I think you said you're
Yeah.
Canadian, right?
Hmm.
All right,
Yeah,
good.
I went to my first LAN this year, which was the Streamer Bowl. I got
Oh,
the jersey
nice.
from.
Nice,
That
nice.
was pretty crazy.
Yeah, how'd you do in that?
Listen, we don't talk about that, but realistically, it was a charity tournament, so I mean, it was still like a cool experience, but it wasn't like a traditional LAN. It was like there wasn't really a crowd, but it was pretty sick because it had like it was a crazy broadcast. They had all these lights, like this gigantic field in the middle. It was like sponsored by NFL, so they had all these football players there too. It was definitely had that like similar feeling, just without the crowd.
Okay.
But it was definitely a good experience, and I feel like even after DreamHack Sweden, I swear like a lot of people get nervous at LAN. I am less nervous at LAN than I am in a solo cash cup like at my house. I don't know what it is about it, but somehow I'll be shaking against I don't know who like Batman It's Jirian on Solo Arena. But when I go to Sweden and I'm fighting Tayson, like I don't know, I'm just chilling. I'm just like, all right, I'm here. I'll play whatever.
Hey, some
So,
people just built different.
yeah, literally.
You're just there for the moment. I respect that. All right. And so that's a lot of competitive. I feel like we just talked about competitive for
Yeah.
a while, but for you, like what's next? You set goals for yourself beyond just this grand finals? I know you mentioned content. Is there any plans for you for the future?
Um, in terms of the future, I mean, I don't even know, to be honest. Like, I don't know what I'm doing next month. But my goal, like overall, like along is just to be able to do this as long as possible. I'm only 16. I still have school. I still have a while to like keep doing it to like try and make it into something big. But if I were to make it into something big, I think I want to like end up being a streamer eventually by the end of it. Just like kind of find something like doing on there. Maybe move aside of competitive eventually. I mean, who knows? I still enjoy the game a lot. Um, I feel like eventually I will move on from the game, and if I ever when that does happen, I'll probably continue to stream and try to make content from something else. But yeah, that's probably my overall main goal. I'm not sure if I want to be a YouTuber, but I think streaming is really enjoyable for me.
Nice, nice. And if you guys are watching, you can check out his stream. It's Mechton underscore on Twitch. You stream pretty often, so
Mhm.
yeah, check him out if you want. The other thing is you're still young, bro. The fact that you've started doing this as young as you are gives you a major leg up on a lot of people. You've
Mhm.
had success both competitively. You're signed to an organization. You've made content. Like that is huge to be able to do it for someone your age. I mean, I remember back when I was 16, I had no idea what the heck I wanted to do, nor
Yeah.
had like any ambition. Yeah, I'd work on on a beach and relax and chill. But this is a cool opportunity for you because everything you do now can help build you as a brand if you want to continue to pursue that in the future. So keep doing it if
Mm.
you want to. If not, hey, you're still young. You can do whatever the hell you
Yeah.
want. Uh, have you thought about anything outside of this? I know you just said this is kind of the goal, but if there wasn't, like, say you could do anything you want in the world outside of gaming, what would that be?
Okay, I don't know if like anything out in the world, but like something I would like want to do potentially. Let's say like it would like I didn't have gaming or whatever. Um, a big thing for me would be probably like entrepreneur. I don't know the word, but like I want to be like an entrepreneur or like create a company. I feel like that would be like pretty fun or interesting, even if I end up happen to go bankrupt with the worst company ever. But like I feel like that overall would be a good experience. Something I'm interested in. If there wasn't like any gaming or anything, I wasn't streaming that sort of thing. Um, Besides that, I don't really know. I've had like a bunch of things. Like first, like my plan was, play Fortnite till I'm 18, then go to school, computer science, and then I realized I'm not very smart for physics and math, so I'm not doing that anymore. And I've had my ideas like all over the place, so I'm not really sure what I'm gonna do. I'm
Uh,
just riding the wave. I'm just going.
I can respect that. You can be an entrepreneur within this space. Creating content, building a brand, creating a company, selling merch, like that is all something very achievable for you. If that's something you have as a goal, and even if you just want to try it, give it a good old college kid or I guess high school kid try for you.
Yeah,
And like you said, you probably will fail, but at least you get to try. Like that is
yeah.
something that most people don't even try and do. Um, and just that attempt is better than 99% of people within this world. So if you want to do it, go for it, bro. Don't
Mhm.
let failure hold you back. It's less scary than a lot of people make it seem to be.
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah, I don't really have any other questions for you. Is there like anything you got top of mind that you're thinking? Oh, I guess we could talk about the org. We kind of mentioned it a little
Mhm.
bit. I always like to give a shout out to some of the orgs within the space, because it seems like we're in good spot right now as far as Fortnite orgs.
Mhm.
So tell me about your experience with Team 33 and how long you've been there. What's all going on with that?
So, actually, the end of this month, I would have been like on the 31st. I'll be with Team 33 for a year. I'm the oldest member on the team. Um, but I mean, overall, like literally joining 33 was like that, like kind of like spot and like me playing where I'm like, okay, like all these other people my age, right? They're getting like part-time jobs or making other revenue. Like, okay, I'm kind of like them now. I make money from this, what I like to do. And like Team 33 overall, like that like the first like 4 months, it was just unreal. My experience was crazy. My mom was freaking out because like all these different things I was doing. Like I used to do like all these streams where they like give up money for like zone wars type of thing.
Oh, I
I used to do
remember
that.
those. Yeah, you
Yeah,
used to be on
the
the team.
glitch miss or whatever it was called.
Yeah.
I forget what it was called. So I used to do those. And I mean, overall, like it's just a great group of people. Like the management, all the players, we all like each other. There's no beef in the general chat like other orgs have been on. People are
Uh-oh.
arguing. But like overall, I don't know. It's just been a great experience, especially when we went to Sweden. Like that was just crazy and surreal to me that I get to go to Sweden and they're gonna cover all of it for all the players. So we all got to go and just have that experience. And it's even cooler because we all like were kind of like in a group. We all went and did stuff together and we all got to know each other more. And it's definitely a cool experience. So say overall, I mean, I don't think I got ever dreamed to be on any other org than 33. It's just like they're kind of like a family and they've had me for so long and I hope I get to continue to stay as long as I don't suck in the near future. Um, but yeah, besides that, I don't know, it's just overall been great. Love all the guys there, and I can't thank them enough for all the stuff they do for us.
Nice. That's awesome to hear. Yeah, I've had some. I did their very first Fortnite tournament as a caster.
Yeah.
It was Captani versus who won
Uh,
that?
Kenny's wasn't it Kenny's? Or no
No,
no no no, it was I know his name.
Notch. Was
Uh,
that who won?
no. He won like 40 grand, right? That's what it was.
$33,000.
33,000. It was Weston. There it
That's
is.
it. Yes.
Yeah.
I don't think he even plays anymore.
No, he does not. He quit a long time ago.
Oh, that was the most wild thing. Out of nowhere, I get some random DM from this dude like, "Yo, we're trying to start this org and we're putting together a tournament." At first, it was like $3,300. I'm like, "Yeah, sure, whatever. I'll cast it." And then like after the kid wins, they're like, "Yeah, actually, just kidding. We're giving you a $33,000 contract." I'm like, "Oh my god, like what is this?" And for the
Yeah.
like, it was so wild to me. I've chatted a couple times. They've asked me to like do work for you guys, doing like viewing parties and stuff, but unfortunately, I'm not available for this grand finals. Otherwise, I would have definitely done that. Um, Good people though. I mean, the fact that they've been around for at least a year and a half, I want to say. Because I think
Mhm.
it was last spring that I did the first tournament. It's a long time in Fortnite. Not
Yeah,
too
yeah.
many people last that long.
Is like when like it was kind of on the come up. Like I remember me and my friends, we all saw that. Like the guy won 33,000. Like we're like no chance. But the history of West Coast Fortnite orgs, there is no chance that nobody's getting $33,000 from an org. I think the logo back then was like rainbows and stuff, and it had like all this like this branding. It was crazy branding, and then like no chance. But then like I don't know, like what was it? Probably 4 months after that, started signing all these players, and then I got signed, and then you know on the way like to like probably to like this year, everyone on Twitter, I cannot get a break. I was getting added in so many things saying Team 33 is a scam. It's gonna end in 2 months. All these different things. But it ended up working. It was one of those orgs that ended up working out, and that's not very common on the West Coast. I think I've been scammed 6 times
No
on
way.
Fortnite orgs. Yeah, I've been on a lot of orgs. They got it off my Gamepedia page though. I got them to take all of them off because I was in so
Okay.
many.
6 times? Bro, that's
Yeah,
ridiculous.
yeah.
All right, who are they? What six do we have here?
Okay. Oh God. Okay, so there's one called CLST. It was like Celestial. They had a couple players that were known. I joined. I don't even know how much they owe me. I don't know. I joined like a day, and then it ended a week later, and then he gave me any money. I was like, all right, whatever. And, go next. And then I don't even know. I don't remember what was before that. There was some other team. I can't put my name on it, or like I don't remember the name. Scammed me for. I mean, I wasn't even worth that much back then, but they scammed me like a couple $100. And then the four teams before that wasn't really scammed. I guess say they just ended. Like it was just over. I was on RBK.
Okay.
That ended. That was my first big org, like actual organization, the RBK Academy. That ended, and then I joined a team called Pure. It was pretty big back then. They had like Snacky and all those type of people on it.
Yeah, I
Um,
remember them.
that ended, and then there was another team, Viable, that ended as well. And I don't even know, man. And then actually, the team after I joined that Celestial team or CLST, it actually ended before I left, or no, after I left. So like it was honestly it was a shaky road, and like it was like a curse. People were literally tweeting at me on Twitter like, whatever, don't sign this guy because he's gonna end your team. And there's like people are saying it's about the seventh time in a row with 33. I'm like, no, 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 not happening this time.
Yeah, for real. Don't sign Mechton if you want your Fortnite org to stay around. Doesn't
Yeah,
sound like it works. Oh man, that is quite the story. I mean, I guess you don't have much to lose, essentially, if you're just joining them and trying it out. RBK is an old name. I haven't heard
yeah,
that in a long time. That's like World Cup days, pretty much
yeah.
back
They had
then.
what, Germ? I think this guy his name was, or I don't know who else they had, but I remember Germ. That was one of their players.
Yeah,
They
Arab
had
was
some.
on there.
Yeah, that's how like what's it called? Now you mentioned Arab. That's the I got like he coached me back in like season 7 last chapter, and that's actually how I got majority of my viewers and majority of my followers because I knew him from the academy, and while I was on the academy, he's on the main team. He's like, I need a West player to coach. Like, let me know. So then we played, and he said I'm his favorite player to ever coach in competitive Fortnite, and I was like, all right, that works with me.
All
Let me bring
right.
in the viewers. I started averaging like 150 viewers for like a week. And
Damn.
then they realized I'm all boring. So then they left. But it is
Whoa.
what it is.
Just tell them the stories about how you end orgs, the org ender.
Yeah, yeah. I'll just go over them every stream. So yeah, that
Uh,
happened.
nah, I'm just kidding. Yeah, RBK was interesting because they had like some EU players, like Left Eye. That's
Yeah.
a name I hadn't heard in a while. And then who else? Oh, Germ. Yeah, Germ is another one too. Anyway, we digress. But thank you for sharing that. I'm sure that's not the most like memorable situation for you.
Yeah.
But I hope you learned from that, right? Like,
Mhm.
understand who you're working with before you get into business or partnerships with them.
Yeah, for sure.
Nice, nice. All right. Now, let's wrap this up. I got two questions for you. I know you said that you listened to one of these, so you
Yeah.
might be prepared for one of these two questions. So, first of all, what is your favorite Fortnite skin?
Favorite Fortnite skin? Probably Aura. Because if
Okay.
I like, I don't wear it all the time, but like I've worn it like off and off for like 3 years. Like I don't even remember. But yeah, that's probably my favorite.
All right, cool. And secondly, where can people find you? What are you going to be up to? And, shout yourself out, bro.
So everyone can find me on my Twitter, just at Mechton. And the only really other social I use is TikTok, which is also at Mechton, and Twitch, which is Mechton underscore. I stream almost every day. I try to. Play scrims, do all that stuff. And yeah, just vibe out, trying to get better, and that sort of stuff. Yeah.
Awesome. And that is Mechton. That's how you spell
Yeah.
Mechton. I'm sure there's a number of ways you could think about it. If you're watching the YouTube video, it's down below his name. If you're on Spotify, it
Oh
is
yeah.
in the description. You can find his Twitter. I'll link it there. But thank you so much for joining me, man. I really enjoyed this conversation.
Yeah, this is awesome, bro. Thank you.
Yeah. Now I need to work on getting my setup looking as clean as yours because I just have blank walls and one picture. But anyway, uh, thank you everyone for listening or watching. I appreciate it as always. If you have any complaints, you want to tell me this is another awesome episode. If you have suggestions, anything like that, I am Somebody's Gun. You can find me on Twitter. Thank you all. I really appreciate it, and we will see you next time.